Are you feeling overwhelmed at the idea of creating your first Power BI dashboard? You're not alone, but stick with me. For the next minutes, you will build one from scratch. Welcome back. I am Hakam Abu Shanab and I am super excited to start this Power BI series. We are breaking it because nobody wants a 4-hour marathon. We will start with basics and step up gradually. And I will walk you through every click so it's easy to follow. The sample data file will be in the description below, so just follow along. By the end of this first episode, you will have your first Power BI visualization plus the confidence to keep exploring. Let's jump in. So first of all, what we will do, we will go to Google. First of all, we will need to download that. So what you can do, you can follow the link in the description, or you can go to Google and write Power BI. And what we will get, we will go to the website. And from there, they will ask you to enter your email. If you found that you want to download it directly, you can just write Power BI download. From here, you will go and download it. And if you want to specify, you can just write desktop. So it will be Power BI desktop. And you need to choose the language in which you want to download. It's the first because it's written in Italian. And here we would have download. And then we will choose. We have two versions of that. I prefer if you have more than 4 GB of RAM, you can use just this one. And so x64. If you have less than 4 or 4, just stick with 32-bit. And I will start to download. Download it, you would need to install it just as any normal software. And as I have it already, in order to go there, I would just go here, start, and I would write Power BI desktop, and I will see it here. And this is what I have at the moment. I would click it and start exploring. So once signed in, once you are here, Power BI, what you will see the starting. Sometimes you have like advertisement, but at the moment we have only that. And in order to skip, we can just go to blank report. We have some options here to start with Excel, SQL, or get data. And we have some intro, what is Power BI, and we have the latest files that I had here. I open it. So here I have signed in with my email. I have university email. You can use one. Your personal email should be business or student. And then I will start here with the blank report. And then this is what we see in the first impression in the Power BI. What we see that we have how to get data. So the most common one is Excel. We have SQL. We can copy from other sources and use sample data. So we have many of them, and this is the same option that we get even from here. We have Excel. Always as first, we have SAP. We have many options, and it's evolving over time. And it's the same as getting from here. We can use Excel. In our example, we have a manager that handed us an Excel file for a coffee shop, and he's a manager for that. So I would use this as an example. In order to follow along, just go down in this description. I will post file in the description. You can get it in GitHub if you want to follow along with me. So here I would use version 2, and I will post this there. Let me know if you would have any problem while downloading this file. So I would post it in Google Drive, or if GitHub is not good for you. So I will get this file and start to connect. And yeah, so our manager, he gave us, always you would have this file, sheet 1, and as you can see, this is like the preview of the data that I get from the manager. And in order to move on, we should, as you can see, this is like sheet 1, we have to choose it. Sometimes we have more than one sheet, so we have to use it. We have to click the sheet 1 in order to select the ones that we have. Sometimes we have more than one, but at the moment we have just one and we need only that one, so we have to choose it. And then here we have those options. We have load, transform data, and cancel. Cancel, you can't go, you would lose everything you have already collected. So we have two options, which either load and we can go complete with the file directly, but this does not give you, I prefer to go with transform data, because that gives us the possibility to go to Power Query editor and start transforming the data if it's needed. So at the moment I have date, I have time, store, and we can understand if there is something that, because usually the applied steps here at the right, it manages to change the data type. And as you can see, it has done some steps already, because this is very important. And if you can't see that, what you have to do, you have to go to view and then query settings in order to show it. Sometimes it does not appear. So to follow along, you have to have it viewed from up here to view. So here we see that this is the first step, source, and this is the navigation. This is how we get it. And then they made a promotion for the header in order to have those. And at the end, they changed data type, as you can see. But I see most of columns are okay. We have this, the quantity sold, the revenue, the cost, and all they have the right data type, as you can see. But for date, I see that this is not correct, because it should be a date. So in order to correct that, we should from here choose the right data type, and should be date. And yeah, I would ask you that this will insert as a new step, because they already changed the type before as a step backward, and this would replace. So we would just confirm replace currents, and this lead us to have this data. And now we have that date, that this is the correct format to have it. So this is the first check we do the check that we have the correct data type for each column. So that makes sense. This is text, 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 and we can understand just from here. So clicking here, we can know which type is that. So we have like a shortcut for ABC. It means ABC is a text, and this is how we understand that this is a text column, and that makes sense. Here we have another, because it's a quantity, is just a whole number, and here we have revenue, and it makes sense that because it might be with 175.5, and that makes sense to have it in this decimal number. Also for the cost, we have here at the table, we have 5 drinks. Just to make sure that we are covering everything, here in Power Query we have the column profiling based on top 1000 rows. So here this is a preview for the top 1000, and to make sure if we are seeing all the Excel file or not, we can see that this is more than 1000 rows. And how to check that? We can see that it's a plus 999, and in order to see all the file and make the analysis to make sure that we don't have any error, because this is very important. The moment we don't have any error, we have to choose this option from down. So again, from column profiling based on top, we can click here and choose column profiling based on the entire dataset. And this is to see all the dataset that we have. Now, from here, we can see the count. So in order to know how much we have count up here, we can just click to column profile. So it's in the view and then column profile. And this is what I check usually. So in order to understand how the structure of data before starting analyzing and start make the visualization. So I look here and I see that I have, for the time of the day, I have 3 shifts: midday, evening, and morning. And as you can see, we have more than 1,000. They are 1,270 rows, and we have no errors, and they are distinct. We have only 3. Here we have our data. It seems all for 2025. We have no errors, and we can make sure this is. From here also we have for the store, I prefer always to see it from column profile because it gives you a much better visibility instead of going there, and this error list may be incomplete. But this one, this gives you like a good preview of the data using the entire profile. So corporate park, downtown, university, we have 3 stores for that coffee shop. And here for the drinks, we have 5 drinks. We have espresso, mocha, cold brew, latte, and maca latte. This is like the green latte. It's milk with the green herb. And yeah, so we have 5. And here we have the cup salts by quantity, the revenue, and the cost. So this is what we have at the moment. So if you need more about Power Query, you can just follow the videos. I will have more explanation for that in the next videos, but I already also have a video about Power Query. You can just follow in the description. I did an introduction for Power Query, explaining more details about that if you need. Now we finished to have the preview. What we will do, I do this usually. I always do a preview before going to Power BI to make sure that everything, we have no error, everything is fine in data. And then what I would do, I will go close and apply. And we wait for loading. So let's say that the manager said, okay, this is what we have this file, we load it, and he say the first thing we should do, we should ask the manager some questions, what he wanted to answer. And based on that, we have to create our visualization. So the manager would ask us, like, for example, what is the most profitable, or which one of those they give us the highest revenue for those drinks. So we have to do this visual in order. It's easy, we have the data, we have to show it. So in order to show that, what we have to do, we have to present the chart. We can use one of the charts up here. So let's use, for example, is the visualization, we use clustered. And what we can do, we can put on the X the revenue, and for the drink, but this is give us the count of the drink. We don't need count. And to make sure that we are putting the right, we just, so it's a drink, and this is the correct column. Can it change here? Okay, we should put the drink on X and the sum of revenue on the Y. And as you can see here, this is just the 2 steps. Directly from here, what we can see that we have mocha is generating the highest. Then the matcha latte, it's 57k, and then the latte, cold pro, and then espresso. So this is the first question that we managed to ask. What is the most profitable, or what is the drink that generates the highest revenue? And this is, the answer is mocha. And this is the first question that we can ask, we can answer. So, and this is we create just by those 2 tables. In order to move to the next question, we can say which branch is creating, which location is generating the highest revenue. So it's not about drink, it's about the location of the store or the store itself. So instead of putting the drink, we can just put the store, and we can see that here the corporate park is the highest, then the downtown, and then the university. And then he would say, he would look at these data and say, okay, the question, I need to know the prices that we sell. So are we putting the prices correct? So this is like next level question. And he say, are we putting the prices for the drinks? Are we pricing correctly? Are we getting a good margin? So in order to make the gross margin, what we should do at the beginning, we have something here about DAX. We should start to make something called measure, and we can do it just from home, new measure. This is like a small calculation that give us this result. So in order to get the contribution margin or the margin percent, we have first to start by creating the profit. So in order to do the profit calculation, we should do like this, new measure, and we say profit. You can write whatever you want. Profit equal revenue, and look that it does not work. In order to make it revenue, so it does not work until you put sum, because the measures are like this. We can't see the column without sum. So if I write a heap, I see here revenue, but without putting sum here, I would not see revenue, as you saw before. Writing only revenue will not make us see it. So I would put sum, revenue, minus sum of cost. This would be our profit. So this is first measure that we can use to put the profit. But yeah, the profit, we can see it. I can represent the profit here, but it's not the goal that I want. I need the contribution margin. I could just put it here, just as a card. All I do, I'm copying those stuff. So I need to put the card, then copy. I have here the revenue. All I do, I'm just copying, and then I put the card visual. And then I can copy this, and we can put the profit. Just writing. So this is the profit that we already calculated. And then what we need to calculate the contribution margin. So what is the contribution margin? The contribution margin is the profit divided by revenue times 100. And this is what we need to calculate by the small expression. And in order to do that, we can do a new measure. Say contribution margin percent, and we have to put here the profit. Look for the measure, even without sum we can get it. Divided by revenue. Revenue we should be with sum. And then we have to close it. We have to make sure that both of them are yellow in order to make sure that the parentheses are closed. And then it should be times 100. Like this, we have the contribution margin and with the percentage. So I would copy also this one, and we'd put this up here. And as you can see, it's 56. But the question was about the product, like, are we pricing good for the products? And in order to do that, I'll make this a little bit smaller. I copy it again, and the graphic that help us understand is this one. It's scatter. So we have to find it. This one, scatter chart. What we need to do is putting the price and the contribution margin to make the comparison. But as you can see, we have the contribution margin. So we need to put, can start with this. And for the prices, we don't have it. We need to calculate it. In order to calculate the prices are the revenue. So the revenue in order to make it work, we should always put sum because it's not measure. This should be divided by the quantity. So how much I sold. So if I sold 5 and the price is 50, so it's 50 by 5, it means the price is 10 per each one. And the price is always fixed because this is the strategy of the company. It has one price for all the customers at the moment. But we can check that also. So what we will do, the sum of revenue divided by the quantity. Also here the quantity, we can get it directly. We should use sum, and then we see the cups sold. From here we can get the price. Now we have it. So we should use the x-axis and the y-axis in order to do the relation. And now we have both of them with both of the measures, but what we're missing to represent the values. The values of what? The values of the drinks. So now we can put some legend to make it comparison. And here we are. I prefer to change the x and y, so that I will put put the contribution on Y and the price on X. Okay. So here, this is the percentage of the contribution margin, and this is the price that we can see. I just make a focus mode in order to see all the chart. And from here, we can see that we have the price 4.5 for latte. We have also another price for the matcha latte, it's 5.5. Mocha, it's 5. Cold brew, 4. And this one espresso is €3. Yeah, those prices are, we can see, let's see our target for the contribution margin is 60%. So this is the target. What is below the target should be revised in order to improve our target, because our target in the contribution margin is 60%. Yeah, we can also put the category label so we can see it much better for the name directly. And what we can understand that from latte, this one is 4.5 as a price after this calculation, and it seems it's fixed. But it seems that the espresso price is good as a tree, and as it's the best drink that we have the best contribution margin per foot, a profit. The best contribution margin percent is 66 point. So it's the highest, it's the most profitable one. And what we can do here, we can make a promotion, because the espresso is our best thing. And this is very interesting, because that would help the manager maximize the profit if using a promotion here, because this is the most successful product. And this is the second one. This is not bad, 62, but yeah, it's above the target, and this is exactly on the target. So let's not do anything with those 3 of them. What we can do, we have this is like the 60, and we have 2 products are below our target. So we have latte and we have a matcha latte, and both of them are below target. The contribution margin are 49 and 46. And here what we can do, we can see that the price is 5.5. So the manager would not be able to increase the price more, because he's risking to not having more people to buy that. It will be expensive to the market. We can't. So the manager, it seems he might have like a market data that shows the prices of the competitor, and this price can't be more. So what he could do, he could have 2 options: either negotiate the price with the cost with the supplier, so he could reduce the cost, and then the price, it would be, he could keep the price, and he could have more profit, and this is a solution. Or may resize the product, and he could make it a little bit smaller so the cost is lower, and this is a solution for this product. Otherwise, in the other hand, on the latte, yeah, as it's 4.5, he might have a data that some people sell it until €5. So we might increase the price. So if we increase the price, we can recalculate the contribution margin, and we might arrive to the 60%. So we have to change and then recalculate, and this might help the manager decide that this is a good contribution. So this is some questions that we managed to ask using this dashboard. So let's find it. Let's make the dashboard a little bit much better, because at the moment it's so messy. We can do some small touches just to improve it. I will do another video to improve more about this, but yeah, I will try at the moment make slicer. I will use a slide Okay, I would use this slide. Like this is the old slicer, and the filter that I use, this one is more new. It has more options. So as you can see, we can do it very easy horizontally. And we can even here play with the design, okay, the layout. Can increase the columns up, so we have 4 columns or 5. Let's make it 5. Can use it here. If I want to reduce, I could even use this one, make it smaller. Could copy that again and put it here in order to present a area chart, and this one could help us represent the revenues according to time. So I have the date, can put it in X, cancel store, and this is what we have. This is because we have a daily information, daily revenues, but I can also show it by month. In order to do that, I will cancel day, and we'll see it goes to the next level. We have month, quarter, and year, but as we have all to 2005, it does not make sense to have more, like the year. We don't need it. We can Control C to come back if you need to change something, but yeah. So we can represent how much is going each month. You can see that I will cancel every quarter, don't need it. January, and then February it goes more, and there it goes down. As you can see, breathing sometimes any click it would change because it's dynamic. So if you click anything up here and you want to uncheck, you can just double click or click. If you click once, just click it again, the same area, and then you will come, because if you click here it would not come back. You should click again here and everything will filter out. So this our filter, we can see the results, and this is that reflects for each one of them. And now if you want to publish that, you can publish it in your workspace. You can choose the location, choose this one, say Café Part 1. And that's it. Now I can publish it. If you want to share it just for yourself, you can just publish it on my workspace, and then if you have other workspace and you need to publish it for someone else, you have to have another separate workspace. But let's publish it first on my workspace and see it, because if you want to publish it with someone else and share it with other people, you have to share it with another workspace common and share the link with them and then give them access. I will show you now. So this is the link. After saving, you will have this link to go to the dashboard that we shared. Now Power BI is connected to Fabric, And this is our Power BI. And you can see from the left, you can have area di workspace or area di lavoro, it's in Italian, but this is like my workspace. And here, as you can see, I can see what I have published. It's up here. But as you can see, I can here modify and do other stuff, but I can't share it with anyone because it's just my workspace. And if I wanted to share it with someone else, I should make a new work area di lavoro. This is a new workspace. I should call it test, for example. And then, as you can see, it needs like a premium license. In order, we should pay monthly in order to get this access. But for learning, you can just use this one. So you can use your working space. And that's it. Congratulations! You've just built your first Power BI dashboard. But we are only getting started. Imagine the manager asks, how much does revenue grow month over month? And how does that compare to the same month last year? To answer that, click the video on the right to go to the next level with time intelligence and data modeling, or hit subscribe so you don't miss it the moment it goes live. See you there.